women want a strong man, not a physically strong guy. You have to, that internal savagery. You know what I mean? That
Dark.
that
Yeah,
that
the
fierceness,
capacity. Yes.
the capacity for violence, the capacity for murder, the capacity for these bad things. You know, that's what they're all about. I got one of these girls I'm dating here in Tokyo. She's Chinese, right?
Mhm.
And naturally, the Japanese people treat her like shit. And you know, she sees me, and I'm like not your typical skinny, dorky Asian dude. I've got a little bit of an attitude about me. She sees me training, lifting weights, doing the MMA stuff and everything. And she feels like she's like a little girl when she's around me. She's like, oh, just like, I love you. You're like a tough mafia guy. Because when she goes out in her day-to-day life, like, she just has to tolerate getting treated like shit because she's Chinese. Because like the Japanese fucking hate the Chinese, and the Chinese hate the Japanese. Like, this is historically verified. We could go into depths of that on another show. But all the other dudes she dated before me were just like complete pussies. This is a little TMI, but she's like, you're the first guy that I let him hit raw on the first date just because I was like so turned on by you. You're so wild. I didn't even care. She's like, every other guy I've made.
Yeah, because the prospect of you impregnating her is higher if she does that.
Yeah, we always use a condom, kids.
Leverage it for your own defense. Leverage that for your own caution. So
yeah, but yeah, it's true, man. They want, and that's what I was saying. And we talk about this in the dark past. Now more than ever, okay, everybody thinks the shortcut to getting girls, and even Myron fell for this trap. They think that the shortcut to getting girls is looks, money, status, right? All the dorks in the black pill community, all these losers who don't get girls but seem to know everything about girls, mind-blowing as that is, like the guys who complain about getting girls the least seem to be the most vocal on the strategies to get girls, which is hilarious in itself, right? And they don't realize that the greatest X factor now is not looks, money, status. It's having rock solid internal masculine frame with daddy energy to guide them. When you were on Fresh and Fit and you were sitting next to that stripper, I was doing a commentary. I'm talking about the one with the piercing on her lip right here.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant
I'm so icy
not
or whatever.
Yeah, the other one. Okay, I know.
Yeah, that one, right? I was doing the companion breakdown, watching her, and did you see how this girl, when you're talking, she's just like, just soaking up the daddy energy, like not like as in you're the father, but like the natural authoritative energy that you have when you bring to the table, and when you speak with conviction, you speak with authority. You've been doing this for fucking ever. You've been married for 20 something years. You raised a daughter. Like you are the red pill. It's not like a moniker you picked up and you draw some fucking green lines on a JPEG and you're like, I am
the game. I don't play. It's not an act. It's funny you should say that, because like after those shows, I'm almost invariably after those shows, one of those girls, possibly two, comes up to me and go, you're a really smart guy. And they start like wanting to pick my brain and like looking up to me, like, teach me something, kind of thing. And I call that, I've talked about this before. It's what's called command presence.
Yes.
And I tend to do that naturally, particularly when I'm around women, because that's what I've done professionally for a long time. Right. I have to be the one directing traffic when it comes to like, liquor promos, or if I'm directing a commercial or something like, doing something where they need guidance. And people are in the chat are going to say this, oh, that's being a contextual alpha. Yeah, it is. It is. Absolutely it is. But it's also the dynamic is command presence. If you're in the military, if you're in any kind of law enforcement, you understand the idea and the term behind command presence, and you can apply that to the women that you are working with or encounter, let's just say.
Yeah, but like that, saying now more than ever, your greatest
daddy energy. I like that. Let's go with daddy energy instead. It's daddy
like,
game.
It's the daddy energy. No, I'm like, it's like, look, these bitches are lost now more than ever. You see it. You probably see other girls that are not well put together and have a solid head on their shoulder like your daughter, and you're like, good Lord, bitch, where is your father and why has he failed you? And I'm guarantee you see that probably every day in America. And now more than ever, these girls are looking for someone to lead them. They're looking for someone to guide them. Why do you think they go to feminism? Feminism is the default open arm thing. Like, come to us and we will teach you how oppressed you are, my child.
Mhm.
Who goes to church the most? Women. Why? You got to go. You got to go and be part of this community, this guidance, right?
Mhm.
Who are the number one volunteers for PETA? It's women. Who are the number one volunteers in general? I'm not trying to do anything for free, right? But
Mhm.
again, women, they're always looking for something to guide them. And it used to be men in our society. Now it's become the government, conglomerates, corporations, and or these fucking things. You ever watch Tiger King? You ever watch the whole thing?
I didn't watch the whole thing. I watched part of it. I kind of like, what am I?
Dude,
What am I doing?
you need to study the biggest pimp on that fucking show,
Mhm.
Carol Baskins, bro.
Mhm.
Carol Baskins is a ruthless psychopath, Machiavellian, evil bitch, dude.
Mhm.
And she gets all these girls working for her cause. And the way she's so good, she's so evil. She's like,
Mhm.
you know, you care about baby tigers, don't you? Do you want this? Do you want these tigers to go extinct? No? Then I need you to go clean up 600 pounds of tiger shit. And
Uh-huh.
then I'm going to level you up from.
Wax on, wax off.
Dude, she has like an orange shirt and then like a
Mhm.
brown shirt and then a blue shirt. Like you rank up shirts based upon how many free unworked hours how many free hours you've done for this chick. How
Mhm.
much free work have you done? And you get a t-shirt to go clean
Mhm.
up, a different colored t-shirt to go clean up tiger shit, right?
You ever notice that like most cult leaders historically, most cult leaders are men.
Yeah.
It's like if you, David Koresh, right? I watched that thing on Netflix not too long ago. I'm like, guys are like letting this dude bang their wives because they're so wrapped up in it. But it's not a woman that is leading that cult. When
Yep.
you know, Jim Jones, I mean, name any famous, Bhagwan Rajneesh, like name any cult leader, even that XXVM thing where they brand the chick, like, and
Yeah.
these are
Oh
like
yeah.
women who are like supposed to be empowered and they've got their the director of HR, wherever the hell they are, they're letting this dude like feel like brand them and then have like sex with the guy afterwards. Look at any like cult. Why is it that it's primarily women who follow them and it's primarily a guy who is the leader of that cult?
Because women are dumb. No, I'm just no.
They're looking for a shepherd, right? They're looking.
Yeah,
They're looking
they're
for
lost.
an alpha male. Yeah,
It is
primate psychology. Yeah.
it's in women's nature to be led by some authoritative figure. All right. And in this situation, it should be you at home listening to us, but guys have been castrated, right? Guy and like the pussification in America has been happening for a long ass time. I know one of these dudes out there who's done some time in the military in Afghanistan, and he
Mhm.
knows one of the Taliban fighters, right?
Mhm.
One of the Taliban fighters was an English teacher in the elementary school, but he's like, he picked up and joined the Taliban. He's like,
Mhm.
why the fuck did you do that? And he's like, simple. I did not want them bringing that American way of living over here and ruining my fucking culture. And he's
Yeah.
like, I'm not. So I picked up my AK-47 and I said, fuck, I'm gonna defend my country. And I mean, I'm not trying to make this a military show, but like, you're seeing the history of what happens when people try to invade Afghanistan, right?
Yep.
And it's because they're defending that way of life. And
Graveyard of empires. Yeah.
yeah, man. And like these, like I said, where do you see a great exodus of Afghani women?
Mm-hmm.
Where are they, like, where are their
Where are they
movements?
going? Yeah. Yeah.
There's
None. I
They
think
don't
it
want
was
to go.
let me tell you something. And this is just a side note here. I think it's when people tell me, well, how dare you, Rollo? How can you say that we live in a gynocentric social order? It's patriarchy. We need to smash the patriarchy, blah, blah, blah. There's so many examples of why we live in a gynocentric social order. The most recent one, the best one, was we have spent 20 some odd years in Afghanistan. It was a failed war. It was, what the hell are we doing there in the first place? We've funneled God knows how much money in there, manpower. How many people have died? It's a humanitarian catastrophe. It's like fall of Saigon right now. We're leaving all of this military hardware and personnel and everything else that's going there. And you know what the first concern of the entire fucking world, every first world country, you know what their first concern was? What about the women? What about the girls? What about our women?
Yeah.
That's the first thing that pops into your head. That's your mental point of origin is women when it comes to this. And that's all they care about. And that's, of course, I realize it's psyops. Okay. Go ahead, give me the comments. I realize it's a public relations kind of thing, but that's the only thing that they can do to distract you from the sad, tragic reality of a 20-year failed screw up. Right. Mm-hmm. And put us on a war footing through what 4 different presidencies. Yeah, it's a monumental disaster. What about women? There you are. You want to know why we live in a gynocentric social order? Look no further. And New Zealand, please think about the women. China, go over there and bring them out, right? They don't care about the guys. They don't care about anybody else. They don't care about the military hardware that's been left there. Go get the women and bring them out. And we'll take them here in New Zealand because that's a feminist-run government. Come on, bring them over here, girls.
I got a meme for you that talks about the whole situation, how basically this whole gynocentric order is a short, it's basically it's a game of the corporations. And it's like Jeff Goldblum said in Jurassic Park,
life finds a way.
Yeah, life will find a way. Nature finds a way,
Yeah.
And here we are. Here, let me share this. This is hilarious.
I'll take it.
This is pretty based. Have you seen this meme yet?
I don't know. Do I want to put it on? Yes.
Yeah, it should be okay. You can take a look. Have you seen this?
God, no, I haven't.
Variety of cultures united in a single faith, Islam. Doesn't need to cope. Modesty, content with the Lord has given. Has a chin. Has 4 wives, 19 children. Average IQ 182. Western society, forced diversity. Drugs and alcohol to cope. OnlyFans. Slut walks, run by immoral rich families. Consumerism, has no chin. Wife left him for another man. Low IQ.
God. Yes.